What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. This is another episode of Fight Talk with the BMAs, the basic MMA analysts. Just another solo one this week. K West is busy. We need to figure out timings. He's 3 hours ahead. He's sorting out his life in Thailand. I think he's getting things rolling. So just doing this in the middle of his day is a bit of a tough one, especially on a Monday. To get that time, because he's got work and life to live out there. So we'll figure out a time between us and get back on track with both of us on it. But for now, I just wanted to give you a solo one with my thoughts about this week's fights, UFC 295, which was a very exciting fight that happened in New York. Second time me recording this. I'm going to check if the mic's on. I did this podcast earlier on, and then freaking the mic was off. So I spent 45 minutes talking to myself with no volume, which is basic. So hopefully this one's working fine because the mic's on. So as they say in Into the Spider-Verse, let's do this one more time. We had UFC 295, Alex Pereora versus Jiri. And I still can't pronounce the name. Pavlovich. I'm not going to say his name. This is where I need K West to kind of help me with names because I cannot read. Anyway, we got ourselves a new light heavyweight champion in Alex Pereora. Now, what he has been able to achieve in his short MMA career has been amazing. Two-division champion. I mean, he's a two-division champion in kickboxing. Now he's a two-division champion in MMA and in UFC. And biasly, I think UFC is the best promotion. They got the highest level of fighters. Now, ONE FC definitely has some high-level fighters, and some of the other organizations do. But again, biasly, I feel like UFC has the highest level of fighters. Not saying that the ONE FC fighters cannot give them a challenge. I'm saying that. So just what he's accomplished anyway in this short period of time is absolutely amazing. I mean, I think it's 7 fights in the UFC. Is it 7? 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 fights in the UFC, I believe. He's been able to achieve two-division championship. I mean, absolutely amazing. What he done in the middleweight division, okay, it might have felt like, they were trying to start off a little storyline for Izzy. So get this guy in, quick fight here and there. People might say he avoided all the wrestlers. You had such a bunch of beasts like Robert Whittaker and Jared Cannonier and Paulo Costa. Loads of people in that middleweight division. Even Hamzat's in that division now. So you can say he dodged all the wrestlers and they just put him in the title fight with Izzy just to make that story. And it was amazing, an amazing story. He won the first one. Izzy came back for the second one. Great story for that division. But he went up to light heavyweight, which he's massive. I don't know how he made 185. Beat Jan. It was a close fight. I know Jan's kind of posted after this that he wants his rematch or whatnot. But just to win this against the previous light heavyweight champion in Jiri, which is absolutely amazing. I know Jiri came off that vicious shoulder injury and whatnot, which was bad, but I'm sure he put in the right work. He's a very disciplined individual. You can tell by his interviews, the way he talks, he has that samurai mentality, which he cherishes a lot. And I'm sure he put a lot of work into his rehab and to come back on point. He took the loss humbly. There was a bit of controversy about, was it an early stoppage? He took it humbly and said, I lost. It is what it is. And I'll learn from this. That's how amazing his mind frame is. It did look like it was, at first glance, it did look like it was stopped early. But if you look at it, he fell back. Those elbows, those short elbows, crazy. I mean, look, Pereira caught him beautifully with a short left hook. And the power he's got, he doesn't even wind up. It's so short. And he's able to generate so much power from that. It's just unheard of. It's amazing. And was able to kind of rock him from there. And then as you was trying to go for a takedown, just hitting him with the short elbows, ending up full mount, and then kind of finishing it from there. Again, Alex Pereira is amazing. I mean, he started off with the low calf kicks, which, he compromised Izzy with, and immediately with the first kick, he compromised. I wouldn't say compromised actually, but he hurt Jiri with the first kick. And then he just kept on throwing him. He doesn't wind up. Oh my God, they're just crazy. He's just unbelievable with his striking abilities. And Yuvi's game plan, I don't know the game plan or whatnot, but it would be smart to throw in some of the takedowns as well as the stand-up and whatnot. Jiri's great and elusive with his stand-up, but Pereira's just on another level. And you did see in the first round, Jiri take him down. And I can't remember if he ended up in, I don't think he ended up in mount, maybe at his guard or whatnot, and just kind of dominated sort of a bit of position in there. And that's, I think, the smart way to fight Pereira. But Pereira's, no slouch. Actually, when I say no slouch, of course he's training the ground game. He's training with Glover Teixeira, who's amazing on the ground game. Jiri did submit Glover in the previous fight, and I feel like, anyway, he did, so he felt like maybe there was a confidence there. And yeah, like Pereira, I think he's learning the ground game. Of course he is, against a superior wrestler in the top 5 in that division. Who would be there? I mean, Ankalaev maybe. Might have a better wrestling background than ever, but he's got a lot of shit that he's going through, a lot of controversy. The last controversy with Johnny Walker, previously had the draw with Jan Pavlovich. So, he's got to work his way up. But Pereira, again, like what he's been able to accomplish in the last 7 fights, has been amazing. He's going to go down definitely in history. I feel like if he can tally up a good record in the light heavyweight division and be dominant, then he's going to go down. Like, I would hate for him to kind of lose and then disappear. And then, yes, he'll go down in history and that name, but like nothing, you could never take that away. But does he just disappear? You know what I mean? Does the name just disappear just because he's done what he's done and he's gone? So I feel like if he can tally up a good amount of fights in the light heavyweight division and defend his title, again, he got straight up there. Like, such a short turnaround. And can you say that he didn't earn his way up? I don't think so. I mean, maybe in the middleweight division, you could have thrown a case in there, right? Because there was a storyline with Izzy, but then you get up to the light heavyweight. He had a fight, and then in Jan, who was a previous champion, and he got up here quick, and it's not his fault that Jamal Hill got injured and Jiri got injured and all this sort of stuff, right? So amazing. I think if he keeps on doing, he'll definitely go down in history as one of the greats. Especially, he's definitely already broken records of what he's been able to accomplish. 2-division champion in the UFC is amazing. There's that question. Imagine John Jones was still in this division. I mean, it's a what if, but imagine he was still in that division. It'll be exciting. Would he be able to fight Pereira? I mean, John Jones's superior wrestling abilities could have probably just taken him down and ground and pounded him. But you never know. You never know. It's just fun. I mean, what's next for Pereira? I mean, he called out Izzy. He gave him credit, he gave credit. He told him, like, you were the one that got me off the bench and motivated me to come into this. And now look what he's done. So he wants to give Izzy an opportunity, for Izzy to come up. And Izzy's done that before with Jan. And Izzy just beat Alex. I'm sure Alex wants to get that back, but he's just beaten. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine doing that in light heavyweight light heavyweight? I don't know if they'll skip Jamal Hill. And Izzy's clearly said that he wants to break. And I think he's great. It's an amazing mind frame of a champion like Izzy to just be like, you know what, I do need some time off, come back strong after his last defeat with Sean Strickland. I believe he said 2025 is looking to come off. I mean, I think so. So it'd be good to give him a break. And it's great that he can acknowledge that as a champion. I think that's absolutely amazing. So I think it was Jamal Hill. I think he's already doing, in recovery for his injury, which I believe was an Achilles tear. Hopefully he gets back on track and then they make the fight with Alex Pereira. I mean, that's another fun fight. Jamal Hill is great with the stand-up. Very intelligent with his stand-up. But we're talking about Alex Pereira. I know this is MMA, so it changes the stand-up, but we're talking about a freaking master in kickboxing here. I think the strategy with Pereira, you don't stand toe-to-toe with him, but you kind of fall in there, like what Jiri tried to do, but you got clipped. That's the thing. You're trying to get in close to Alex Pereira, you can get clipped from a short hook and get knocked. I mean, that's how much power he produces. It's absolutely crazy, or short knee or whatnot. So he's dangerous, even if, like I say, short strikes can rock you. And he's not depleting himself to 185, he could be a freaking force in this division. Let's see what happens with Jamal Hill if they make that fight happen. I believe Dana said that that's the fight to make next, not Izzy, because Izzy wants to take his time and come back. But you never know. You never know Izzy, man. He could be like, fuck it, let's do it. Excuse me while I drink my green juice. It's got some good stuff in there. You never know. Izzy could be like, let's do this, knowing Izzy, but I think Izzy's intelligent enough to be like, let me take the rest that I wanted mentally and physically before he does anything. You never know if Alex Pereira, you know, still champion, you know, the storyline, say Izzy comes back to middleweight, beats the champion there, they could do a title, you know, champion versus champion fight at the light heavyweight division. You never know what the story could be in the future. But very fun for Alex Pereira. Very exciting in that division. Takes nothing away from Jiri. You know, he can fight Jan. He can fight Ankalaev. I guess he should do the Johnny Walker one. Jamal Hill's next for the title. He's the champion. So that makes sense. Yeah, no, exciting for Pereira. Legend in the making. That absolutely amazing what he's been able to achieve in that short period of time. Absolutely amazing. Let's go into the into the heavyweight division, which was just made 2 weeks ago because of the whole fallout of the card, John Jones getting injured and whatnot. We have ourselves a new heavyweight UK champion in Tom Aspinall. Now I know it's interim, but still, we'll take it. You know, they throw that interim belt out there a lot, but it's exciting that Tom Aspinall, just the way he's come up, that speed he has. I mean, this was, look, Sergei, again, you know, coming off, what, 5-5 win streak, just knocking out people, dangerous. Tom Aspinall, just, he had that injury and whatnot. He came off that fight with the other guy, I can't remember, in London. Was it London? Yes. Going blank. But the speed, man. I mean, what I love about Tom as well, he was very open about how scared he was of this big dude, Sergei Pavlovich, and he just came in, and that 1-2, you know, the speed that he brings is amazing. And I think that's fun about what Tom brings, you know. I mean, Sergei was fun when he came in with that movement for heavyweight division. Tom Aspinall's coming in with movement as well as speed, you know, maybe not the same movement as Sergei, but that's definitely got some great footwork and then just that speed, man. And that's what I was able to kind of knock out. And, you know, heavyweight power is heavyweight power, end of the day. So, and he did get clipped. Sergei did clip him. You know, he was able to take those shots, move around, come back with a 1-2 speed, 1-2, and just knock out Sergei. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. And I love Tom Aspinall. I think he's a great representation for the UK, just a great personality. I think he's got a good sense of humor. You know, gave the belt to his father. I think he's really humble. The fact that he was open about being scared about fighting Sergei and short notice. Both of them took a short notice fight for this. They both took the opportunity. Just humanizes him so much. I really like his character. I think it's great for the UK, great for UK MMA. We've got 2 champions now, both in Leon Edwards and Tom Aspinall, which makes it so much fun. What happens with Tom Aspinall next? I mean, you know, John Jones did compliment him on Twitter and say, you know, great performance. And he called out John Jones in a respectful manner, which again, it shows the character of Tom Aspinall. Just saying, you know, he appreciates John Jones. He looks up to him. He's a legend. And just please give me that opportunity to fight you, you know? And that's the best way to call out John Jones, and a true representation of Tom's character, which I feel, which I'm getting from him. That's what I like, you know? I like those humble guys. But let's see. I mean, I feel like they're gonna make the Stipe fight with John Jones still. Maybe that's the fight to make. Make Stipe. Maybe Stipe's looking to retire. You know, I mean, I feel like Stipe just wants that one more fight and done. Sorry, because he's not taking any other fights. You know, he wants that rematch for the belt. Of course, not against Ngannou. That's done. But that's the last time he fought, and he just waited for that big fight with John Jones to happen. And he deserves it. Don't get me wrong. Stipe is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time because he's been able to defend it more than anyone in that division. But he's just waiting for John Jones. I think they can. I mean, Dana spoke about it briefly. I think he said I don't think he confirmed anything, but I think he said Stipe, John Jones still going to happen. John Jones is currently straight into physiotherapy. So maybe they'll make that fight happen. Maybe Tom Aspinall sits on the side. I mean, does he fight? I don't know. Do you make? So if Stipe waits out for John Jones, I feel like that's Stipe's last fight. I think he just wants to do that one and done and be done with it. But he wants that big fight, that big name, and for the heavyweight belt, and be done, win or lose. That's what I feel from Stipe. Otherwise, I feel like he would have competed more now, and he just probably knows that he's got one more left in him and be done. That's what my opinion is. I could be 100% wrong. But with Aspinall, like, does he sit aside? Now he's got this interim belt. Does he fight again? Does he fight Cyril Gane? But then if you do that, like, he defends the interim belt. I mean, that interim belt literally is the interim belt, but also, you know, the number one contendership fight. Like that's you being the number one contender, really, right? The next for the belt. Now, if he has that fight with Cyril Gane and they make it a number one contendership belt based on who wins from, John Jones or Stipe, then what's the point of this interim belt? Do you know what I mean? Like just throwing it around and whatnot. So let's see what they do with that. I don't know. I would love to see Tom Aspinall get that opportunity against John Jones, but I think Stipe's just got that one and done left with him, and they're going to give it to him, and he deserves it. Love Stipe's character. He's always been humble guy and whatnot. So let's see what they do. I don't know if Tom Aspinall, maybe Tom said he had a back injury or something, or he pulled something in his back. Maybe he's going to take this time to rest anyway. What he's accomplished is amazing, and who he beat is amazing as well. So don't take nothing away. Sergei was definitely, you know, a threat in that heavyweight division. Super exciting title contender. So legit, you could say he is, you know, the interim belt next for the title, whatever it is. He's earned that and whatnot. So absolutely amazing. Super excited for him. Let's see what happens for that heavyweight division moving forward. I hope he gets the opportunity to fight John Jones. It'll be fun. You know, he's no slouch on the ground. You know, his jiu-jitsu is amazing. John Jones is obviously amazing striker. Is amazing. It's hard to bet against John Jones. He's just the best. He's just the greatest, right? Wrestling dominance. But Tom Aspinall will bring that heavyweight and that heavyweight speed. And he's no slouch on the ground. I know, you know what I mean? So that'll be a fun fight, but let's see what happens with that division. Sergei, you know, he could definitely fight a Cyril Gane or, you know, other contenders in the division. You got the what's his name? The Brazilian guy that Derek Lewis fought last week, Almeida, up and coming, great, you know, grappling control and all that sort of stuff. That could be another fight for him. Super exciting for that division. Happy for Tom Aspinall. Congratulations to him. Absolutely amazing. I think absolute legend. And I love his personality. I think for the UK, it just represents ones. My boxing knowledge is not great, but in regards to a UFC or heavyweight champion in the UK in a fighting sport, I want to say like Lennox Lewis, maybe. Listen, my boxing knowledge is basic, so I'm talking shit. I feel like it's Lennox Lewis, but I don't know. Great to have Tom Aspinall as a heavyweight champion for the UK. Absolutely amazing. Let's move on to, there was a lot of performance of the night. So like Alex Pereora won performance of the night. Then you got Aspinall won performance of the night. And then the next performance of the night went to Jessica Andrade, who fought Mackenzie Dern. And that was a performance of the night because, man, she was amazing. She knocked down, I think this was a record in the strawweight women's division. She knocked down Mackenzie Dern 4 times. In that division, in the female division, you don't get that much. You know what I mean? The power and whatnot, it's just not there. But Jessica Andrade just clearly shows she has that power. She's knocked out people in the past. So she, you know, just her striking ability and her power is just for that division is scary. Now, Mackenzie Dern, obviously up and coming. She had that last fight with Angela Hill. She looked amazing in regards to her striking against Angela Hill, who is a Muay Thai fighter, whose base is striking. Mackenzie Dern looked amazing. Sorry, green juice. Get my proteins and my vitamins and my amino acids and all that stuff. Anyway, she looked amazing fighting Angela Hill. So you're thinking that her striking is going to be improved from there. Apparently, she was, hopefully I'm getting it right, she was training with Jason Perillo on that Angela Hill fight. And that showed off in that fight. She had aggression. She had a lot of emotions behind that fight because of her personal life and whatnot. And I think she just brought that all to that fight. She brought so much pressure. Her striking looked great. Obviously, her ground game is, you know, the credentials are amazing, just with jiu-jitsu champion and whatnot, which is scary. But in this fight, you would think you would see the same sort of striking or even improved, in fact. But no, like, something just seemed off. Like, I don't know if it was Jessica Andrade. They're saying that she wasn't with Perillo now. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it was just Andrade's power she was worried about. But she just looked lost after her combinations. Like, she couldn't find her way around after her combinations. And in fact, not even just lost in regards to foot movement, but just body positioning. And her chin was up, you know. Even if she struck and kind of like kept the hands up and didn't position herself well, at least the hands were up. But her chin was up. Everything was up. And Jessica Andrade took advantage of that. She was waiting for a shot. She was patient. And then she clipped her, 4 times she knocked her down. And Andrade was very smart not to go to the ground. That's intelligence, In the first round she did, I think she knew there was like 10 seconds left. So like, why not quickly go to the ground, do some ground and pound? But in the other round, she was like, no, stand up. And that's intelligent, You're not going to go to the ground with Mackenzie Dern. That's her base. Not just her base, she's a master at that. So I think Andrade still a force to be reckoned with. That power is just amazing in that division. Super smart and intelligent with her fight IQ, and doesn't take anything away from Mackenzie Dern. She's still got a lot to grow. Her jiu-jitsu and all that stuff is covered. It's the striking was amazing. Something just happened. Maybe it was just an off night. Maybe it was Jessica Andrade that made it look like that, or maybe she just needs to go back to Pereora if that's the case. But sky's the limits for her. She's still got opportunities, so we can't really cut her out or whatnot. And Jessica Andrade just moves up and just shows that she still deserves to be up there. Absolutely amazing. Moving on quickly, another performance of the night. Actually, the whole card, the whole main event had performances of the night. Benoit Saint Denis, another Denis. Hopefully, I'm saying that all right. Fun prospect coming out of France. He fought Matt Frivola, caught him with a beautiful head kick, and it was off. I think it was off a clinch or a scramble or something. Caught him off the head kick. He's another exciting fighter coming out of France. He wants to fight. I know he wants to fight someone in the top 5. He called out, Justin Gaethje, who's a fan of the BMF belt, all that sort of stuff. He wants to get up there with Makhachev. He feels like he can give Makhachev a good one for his money. I don't think he'll get a top 5 fight. Maybe a top 10. I don't think that those guys, Poirier, Gaethje, will fight him next. Like, let him build up a little bit, and take it from there. Imagine like him fighting like a Rafael Fiziev. That's fun. That'll be a fun fight. But Fiziev just had that fight, the injury. I don't know where where he's at the moment or whatnot. That could take some time. But fun prospect for the lightweight division. That lightweight division's always got some monsters in there. It's such a scary division to be a part of. The last fight, so looking forward to see more Benoit. The last fight, or the first fight of the card, was Diego Lopez versus Pat Sabatini. Diego Lopez coming, I think he came off the Contender Series as well. I think so. Anyway, another prospect guy, Brazil, super exciting in that division. So, amazing there. The one fight I did want to come on, because I signed up to UFC Arabia, which is like Fight Pass, but the UAE version. So I finally have access to all the fights. Before I was just relying on the live fights coming on 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I just wasn't having the opportunity to watch them all or wake up for the prelims or whatever it is. But now I've got access to that. I could go back and watch all the fights whenever I want at my convenience. So the one fight I did watch the prelims. So the one fight I did want to notice of that, which was super fun, which was the first fight on the prelims, which was Nazim Sayadinov versus Vyacheslav Boshovich. Again, this is where I need K West to help me with the names. Anyway, that was a fun fight. Ended up in a draw. I'm going to call him Vyak. Amazing kickboxer. I mean, the way he was throwing his strikes was so clean, and the way he was just ripping on Nazim, especially the body shots, were just amazing. His movement after his strikes, his combination, moving to the left and right, just an amazing kickboxer, amazing striker. It was a great fight. Nazim got that. I think Nazim got a 10-8 round. I don't know the scorecard, but 10-8 round in the second round, where he was able to knock him down, do some ground and pound, cut him up. Maybe it wasn't smart for him to go down or keep on the ground with him at that point, because he rocked Vyak quite good, and maybe could have finished him standing, but he took him down anyway. He got a few different takedowns in the match, and I think that's what helped that second round, and just generally getting takedowns. I think in round 2, round 3 as well helped justified that draw, because Vyak came back strong in round 3 and just throwing those combinations. He got his foot in back, he got his headspace back. And those combinations were beautiful, man, especially the body shots. Just so cool. I mean, it looked, I don't know if Nazim was tired, but in round 3, I mean, look, he was covered up, but he was just taking those shots. He was letting Vyak kind of score points and tee off on him. But it was definitely, so that's why I feel like Vyak got the points back, but then you shoot for a takedown and you'll get that. And I think that just got the draw and whatnot. But Nazim was walking through them, regardless of the shots he was taking. He was walking through them and whatnot. Very fun fight. I'm super excited to see more of Vayak, man. His striking ability is amazing. Imagine, I mean, again, that's a lightweight division. It's so fun. Imagine, you know, him versus, again, Fiziev or a Bobby Green or something like that. Super exciting with his striking ability. So looking forward to seeing more of him. Cool. I mean, I didn't see the early prelims, to be honest with you, but overall, fun fight. Two new champions, super exciting. New York City, super big. I think the UFC, the pay-per-view numbers or the gate numbers was the second highest. Number 1 and 2. Number 1 was McGregor versus Alvarez. Number 2 was this. Smashed it. Absolutely amazing. Next week, we've got Fight Night in the UFC Apex. You got Brendan Allen versus Paul Craig. Paul Craig going into the middleweight division, coming from light heavyweight. Submission master, especially from his back. Very dangerous guy. So excited to see him. Who else is on that card? Chase Hooper's on that card, fighting Jordan Levitt. Who else? Okay, cool. I mean, look, standard card. I'm just gonna watch it now. I've got access to UFC Arabia. I can watch it whenever I want. So that would be awesome for me. I don't have to wake up at 3 in the morning. When is this one gonna show? Yeah, 2 a.m. Yeah, I'm not waking up for that. So I'll have access to the fights after, which is great. But yes, cool. Look, I'll leave it there. Short one for me, just a solo one. Me and K West will figure out a time where we get consistent and let him figure out his life. He's got a new life in Thailand. He's going to obviously working and whatnot. So just to try and take an hour to do these calls in the middle of the day, it's just not as realistic. Because his work is very hands-on, doing his physiotherapy, doing the stuff that he's doing, the massage therapy and stuff. So it's not like he can take time off and whatnot. Anyway, we'll figure that out. Getting back on the calls, we'll get back on. For now, I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on the fights. And again, appreciate your support. Appreciate you listening to my views. I mean, we're just regular fans, man. That's what it is. We're just fans. We enjoy this. We watch it weekly as the fights come on. You know, I train martial arts and whatnot, and I just have my thoughts, and that's what I'm doing, just expressing my thoughts of the fights here. So appreciate you guys watching and taking on my point of view. But on that note, I'm gonna leave you lot to it, and we'll catch up on the next one. Peace.